welcome to Let's Play Gran Turismo 2, episode 92. Two manufacturers in East City are now complete, and officially it is now time for us to head over to our third manufacturer in East City, which is Mazda. And in order for me to do that, I, of course, am going to see if I can find it. Should be in here somewhere, because I'm sure I have it in here somewhere. It's somewhere further down. And also, no, I'm not using the GT Turbo again. And just trying to see if it's in here. I know it's in... Ah, here it is. As this is the car I'm going to use for the first event, my Mazda RX-7 FC Infini 3. And, of course, I'm now going to head over to Mazda, and of course, I'm going to remove the tuning I have on this thing, because I would imagine I've got rather a lot of tuning on this thing, and well, whilst I'm here, of course, I might as well purchase myself two other cars whilst I'm here, and also whilst I have the space in my garage, so obviously I'm going to get myself this Mazda AZ1, and also I'm going to get myself, if it's somewhere down here, just have a look. Here it is. Now, I do wonder if I should go for this one. Know what? Know what? Fuck it. No. No, fuck it. I'm going for this one. Just because I really cannot beat most Mazdas, especially if they are in red. And that has now officially maxed out the number of cars I can have in my garage. But again, that's okay, because obviously I now have the maximum number of cars I can have in my garage, and fortunately for me at least, I have all the cars I need for the next 4 events. As we have the RX-7 meeting, the MX-5 trophy, the Demio race, and the AZ1 challenge. And that is precisely why I purchased the 2 cars, as you may have seen. And well, the reason why I opted to go for the FC is because, well, I've already used my GT Turbo for the 80 Sports Car Cup, and oh, for fuck's sake. Seriously, we're racing at Seattle again? Well, yep, just checking to see how the controllers and the analog mode, and just before I forget, obviously, I will need to... I don't know, I'll keep the intercooler on, but I am going to remove the exhaust. And hopefully that should be about all I need to do for our next event, as once again we are racing at Seattle. Try this again. Okay, so my first attempt did not go well, because, well, on my first attempt I raced at Seattle. I had a reasonable enough lead, and then suddenly, in typical fashion, on the final lap, I just had to very much characteristically fuck it all up and then just lose, basically. And well, essentially, I don't need any of my tuning on, and this time we are going to Rome for this race. Well, anything in my mind will beat Seattle. And yep, I forgot to remove my racing soft tyres from that previous race. Well, as long as I know I don't have to race at Seattle, that's all that matters. But again, it would be nice if I could race at some different venues every once in a while. And it looks like this entire field is comprised of FDs. Oh, correction. 4 of them are FDs, whilst 2 of us are FCs. As I am in one of them and there is another one just up ahead. And overall, the reason why I opted for the FC is essentially because, well, I've already used an FD, and of course I've already used the SA model as well, which is basically the GT Turbo, so obviously I'm not opting to use that again. And also, furthermore, my GTC would basically be overpowered for this event anyway, so obviously I was not going to use that. I was instead going to use this, just because I wanted to. And literally both of us are in exactly the same colour. I mean, I know I'm trying to include variety into this one, but good God. Anyways, I am now up into the race lead. And it now looks like from here I can more or less stay on the defence. Almost tagging the wall there, but somehow managing to avoid it. And it looks like I shall more or less take a relatively sleazy victory on this attempt, considering obviously this circuit is definitely wider than Seattle Short in most areas. Considering obviously I have actually had enough of racing in Seattle, but somehow I'll still race there regardless, because obviously progression is a thing. And it looks like from here it shall more or less be a relatively easy debut if I can just keep it together, which I'm currently not doing, but somehow still in this, still in contention. Doesn't look like I'm going to bottle it this time, and indeed I shall not. As across the line I go, and on attempt number 2 I have been successful, winning this event by precisely half a second over the Type R. Then it was the Type RB in third, followed by the older Type R in fourth, and then it was the Touring X in fifth, and then at the back it was my fellow FC, unfortunately. Even though it's still a shame on how we had no GT turbos in this event, and I think we could have done. But, well, for me at least, because I'd already used the GT turbo a certain number of times, obviously, I opted to use the FC, and it is 10 grand for my winnings. And since obviously the RX-7 meeting only has one event, essentially this is where I shall now save the game again, because there is only one race I need to do, and even though There is a racing mod for this thing. Unfortunately, because there is not a racing event in the RX-7 meeting, officially overall it doesn't look like I'm going to show off the race car model of the FC, even though I have seen it, and it's pretty much the same as the one I had in GT1, and mind you, of course, that car I used was awesome. But anyways, so our first and only race of the RX-7 meeting, after having a little mistake, is cleared. And so next up shall be the MX-5 trophy. And as you can see there, I now have the maximum number of cars I can have in my garage. And we are now just about 83.1% complete. So, the RX-7 meeting is now complete. Next up is the MX-5 trophy. Stay tuned for more Gran Turismo 2.